Today is not about AI. Funny way to start Get Productive with AI, right? That's why you're here, to get productive with AI. But I'm a writer and I like looking at words. And when you look at this headline, there's something that you might notice is missing with this title, right? There's an implied you. Today, of course, Flint's going to teach artificial intelligence. He's going to teach our methodologies and all that. But it's really about you. It's not about AI. It's about how you can get productive with AI and all the many wonderful things you can do with it. Just want to mention a few things. If you've never joined us before, we got a team standing by in the chat to help you out with whatever you need. Ayub is leading that team. Look out for him. You can click that everyone button. Just click Ayub. He'll help you out if you want to talk to him directly. Of course, you can say public messages, help each other out and all that, but I just want to point that out. Our team is here to help. And also, if you are in MeclabsAI and need help, you see that little button in the middle, give feedback. You can always use that button, because the nice thing then, you could share a screenshot. You can show your exact challenge. That can be hard sometimes in the chat. I want to mention, I like to begin with the end in mind, right? Big fan of begin with the end in mind. I learned that from Covey. Stay tuned. We're going to have a really simple survey. If you fill it out, you will get your certificate of completion for being here today. Plus, you will get 10 of you will get a free professional package from Headshot Pro. So I wrote a case study with them on Marketing Sherpa about their customer service. It's a great customer service case study. They saw we're doing this event and they said, hey, we want to participate. We'll give 10 people Headshot Pro. And the cool thing you can do with that is, I'm not going to get too deep here, but with MeclabsAI, you can make a customer-facing device to put on your web pages. You can make one with all different avatars and AI professionals, but you could make one of yourself. And that's what I did right here. I sent out a link if everyone saw it. All those headshots, I used Headshot Pro. I used MeclabsAI for this. It's a lot of fun. I'll show you real quick too. You can get a whole bunch of different headshots of yourself with that. So stay tuned. Make sure you fill out that survey. You'll get your certificate, and 10 of you will get Headshot Pro. And maybe, not that we're going to go this deep today, but maybe you'll get to the point where you can build an AI version of yourself. All right. With that, I want to introduce today's host. As he mentioned, he's living up on a mountain in Montana, but he's a pretty technical guy. And the really thing that I think is interesting about Flint is, I think we're in this kind of big second wave revolution of marketing and work and business and everything. And we see all these AI companies popping up everywhere, especially AI marketing companies. These people just, I don't know, popped out of college and started an AI company. Well, Flint's been doing this since the turn of the century, which is a kind of funny term, but the late 90s. He was there for this first wave. So when me and him talk, it's very interesting. He's like, well, Dan, I remember when e-commerce started and shops and search and all this stuff. And it's funny, I'm sure many of you know he holds the patent for the McLabs conversion methodology. I'm sure you've seen the conversion heuristic, the C equals 4M plus 3V that I'm on the screen. But another interesting thing, he's been quoted a lot of times in some big publications because of this. I was looking for a quote he had in the Washington Post in 2012 when he talked about that presidential election value proposition. I was searching. I found this even farther back in 2002, when he was just talking about the early days of the internet research firm Marketing Experiments he started, and just learning about all the different search engines and those things. So you're in for a real treat today. Without further ado, Flint, I want to send it up to that big mountain and turn it over to you.
Well, let me just say thank you, Dan. Dan, we've been working together, 15 years?
16 now.
16 years. He leads all of our editorial, all of our content. He's my favorite marketer. I'm so fortunate to work with the team. These guys, people say that, but Dan's amazing. Thanks, Dan. And now there's Dan AI.
Now there's Dan AI.
I'm sorry, Dan. We're going to have to let you go, but we're willing to pay for your AI. We're going to let you go and you can send the AI to work. Folks, if you're just starting, I'm getting ready to go right now, full steam, and a lot's going to happen. May I encourage you to turn on your videos? I will do a better job if I can get visual feedback from you. I'm going to be asking for you, and I can tell sometimes by the look on your face or by the confusion, I need to slow down. I believe when I teach how to craft a presentation, I generally teach folks that once you carefully prepare, pay attention to your audience, and they will optimize your presentation in real time. No matter what I have prepared today, I will slow down, speed up, zig and zag, and do what it takes to help you get a hold of what we need to talk about. And to do that right away, I'm going to share my screen, and I'll validate that you can see that, and I'm going to drop down one toggle in my notes. And that toggle is a Facebook ad. Take a look at that ad. Some of you are experts in Facebook. This is a good ad. Take a look at it carefully And I'm asking you to use the chat function right now to tell me one thing you might do that would make it better. Would you improve the headline? What do you think about the bullets? What do you think about the CTA? And while those are coming in, I'm opening up the chat window myself. I'm going to pull it way over here where I can see and broaden. There's a lot of folks with us today, and there's more coming. So we're going to get more room where I can see you. You're on a giant monitor, like a gallery, and I can see you all stretched out here. That way I can really try to make a difference. Dan may have told you this. I'm on my ranch in Montana. We're off grid. We're about as remote as you can get. And I'm on a mountain. We have production studio and Helena and office, all that stuff, but I like to live here. This is where I do my thinking. So bear with me. We're going to attack. I'm looking at some answers. Drop the rocket emojis. They're cheesy and cheap. That was I think it says port B. I'm not sure how to say that, but good. All right. Somebody else says, where's the ad? Should be able to see it on your screen. Open up your screen, share and Zoom, and it should be in front of you. Let me just ask somebody on here. Gloria, I saw you at the beginning, and I already marked the fact that you're a smiler. I like smilers. They make it easier when you're teaching. Do you see anything in this ad you might improve? And just feel free to talk. Just take your phone off mute or just take Zoom off mute, and then you can just speak. While
I think there are too many words, and it should be better be an image or a video. That would be better explanation because that will be a better interaction.
Okay. Thank you, Vigas. I think that could be true. Gloria, what do you think?
So,
give us 1 second. I'll let Gloria and then we'll call someone else. And I think that I can't pronounce that name, but I'll call you in just a second. Go ahead, Gloria. What is it?
first of all, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Oh, good. It really doesn't get my attention. I would just scroll right through that.
Okay.
Okay. It doesn't have a visual, it doesn't have anything to catch my attention.
Very, very good.
So,
okay. All right. So let me just ask you this, VJ, I think that that may not be how you say your name, but that's the first 4 letters and I took it. What were you going to say? Good answer.
Thank you, Flint. So actually I thought of adding a right approach for the image. Maybe the image can be equal to this. And also we can use the right emojis. For example, shift from features to outcomes. We can use a good AI symbolic image, or like because I can see the repeated images like X and tick mark. Instead of that, we can replace with right emojis. So that could be a good reach the right audience. Yeah.
That's good thinking. Now, while you guys are watching, I'm going to drop down something else that connects. This is a letter to Jill. Jill is looking for a SaaS platform to solve certain problems. This email was written. It's a very good email. And yet it could be improved. And I'm asking you to look at least at the first 2 paragraphs or the key challenges. There's the whole email. So it's broken into key challenges, proposed solutions, and next steps from the director of sales. Somebody tell me, just speak right out. Use chat too, because we're reading chat. Now with the power of our platform, we can have AI analyze all the chat and learn so much that helps us do better next time. Plus we read.
Can I say something?
Please.
My name is Anna. So just based off observation, I see lack of engagement, as everyone stated. It's too generic, so doesn't provide like concrete examples, unique insights, or definitely too much text. Also, there's not a call for action. There's a lack of call for action, actually. And spam concerns, where it says looks like spam, suggests that there's posts might even come across as like too promotional or lacking authenticity, and people don't want to engage in that. And the moment they see something like this, they're just going to think it's a spam or something fake. Yeah, and the biggest one is call to action. I don't see anything like that.
Okay. All right. These are good comments, and I'm watching chat, and I'm going to ask the audience probably the most powerful question that connects to this particular example. If you were in charge of improving this and you had to try and leverage, say, some of the new technology like artificial intelligence, what would you do?
Either shorten it or use an image with text.
All right.
It's already a chat GPT.
Actually, yeah, ChatGPT wrote it. That's the problem. ChatGPT wrote the Facebook ad. That's also the problem.
Mm.
Now, it did a better job than 70% of the ones I see from common marketers. But you know what ChatGPT does, right? It homogenizes what everyone else does. Do you know what marketers do? Something different. If they don't, all they do is get lost in the white noise. Let me ask another question. Any other ways you might use AI to improve this? And you might even have a good way that will help people here. But if you're not sure, it's okay. I'm going to show you something. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. All right. You could add a prompt to shorten it. How many of you believe in the power of A/B testing when it's done right? Just wave at me.
I don't know what is
A/B testing. This is where we run one A treatment against a B version to a live audience and use data science to figure out which one got more responses and why. It's a common thing on the internet, and I'll show you how to get all the information you need on that in just a moment. But why do you think A/B testing is so powerful? Tell
To
me.
show which email template that you're using is going to
It
be
does do
more
that.
effective.
So you're right, but tell me beneath that, why is it effective at doing that? What does it do that's different?
Eliminates bias.
Say it again.
Eliminates biases. Preconceived
Eliminate
notions.
biases. That's a very important thing it does, and that's well worth saying. What else?
It also looks for trigger words that motivate people,
Okay.
that emotional triggers for people. Because
Emotional
people
trigger.
buy based on emotional triggers.
Well, I want to back into that for just a moment. You are talking about people and emotional triggers and buying. And that's the hint. That's the clue we need to answer my question. What A/B testing does for us is it gets us out of our marketing office and in the customer's shoes, where we can see with real customers how well our message resonates. When you put the A version and the B version in market in front of real customers, you get more insight than all the discussion and speculation and conversation and arguments that happen inside a company. Would you guys agree with that? The customer is the ultimate judge of this thing, right? But how many of you figured out that A/B testing is a little hard? By the way, you can do it faster now. We'll show you how. But A/B testing is hard, and you can't do it on everything. Would you agree that's part of the challenge sometimes? Oh. And here's another thing too. You know, even when you do, sometimes it takes a long time for that traffic to run and reach validity. How many have seen that? Like if you don't have enough traffic, you might have to run that test a month or longer. And all that time you're losing the wisdom that you want to get back from your customer. So what do you do to make that work? Well, you could call customers, but how many of you have the time to call a customer before every time you send, right? And then is that a representative of all your customers, or is it, is it fair? Is it biased, et cetera, et cetera? I'm going to show you something today I will venture virtually, if probably not a soul on here has ever seen. I'm going to show you something today that still leaves me stunned. I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to tell you that for 30 years, I've been leading the first lab on the internet that discovered and tested this type of work, decision theory and conversion. We pioneered the principles, the first certification programs, and the standards. And I can tell you right now, the challenge that you're going to have in most cases is getting to a customer to get that information. But we used to say, give me that learning and I'll build a theory of the customer's decision process. And that is the epitome of the marketer's weapon. When you know how your customer thinks, when you can predict what they're going to do next, you can win. A/B testing shouldn't give you just a lift. It should give you a holistic picture of your customer's decision process. I've been teaching that at major universities and all over the world for yet decades. I'm about to show you right now why I don't want to do that anymore. I found something better. Would you like to see? I'm going to change my screen. And at first, this might seem a little different. See, it's blank. You're going to see that too, because I'm going to give you this link in a bit. Something's happening behind the scenes. Work is occurring, and this thing is beginning to stand up something you need and something I need to improve performance. Well, I think it is. Nick, help me out. Let me just make sure I don't have a mistake here. I haven't hit the wrong link. I'm going back to click on my link and make sure it's the right one. It looks like the right one. Okay, let's just give it a second. There it is. Whoa. All right, let's just stop for a second. I'm going to go over here and click on this guy. And I'm going to put this in auto AI mode. And you're going to see in just a few minutes why something as powerful as this can transform your results. And in fact, let's look at a different one. Let's go first right over here to my sandbox and watch me click on, who is that letter written to? Jill Taylor. Now I'm standing up a website. I've never met these Keener people. I don't need to meet them. I use their website. My AI platform pulled their entire website in as an example for what we want to see today. They have solutions for Jill. Who is Jill? Jill, well, let's just ask her a bit more. And as we ask Jill, you're going to see something that's going to change the way we think about business and marketing in the future. So it's going to take a second. Jill and Sam work together, and they are looking for a solution. Outline, let's just say this. Outline the solution you need. Now, as you think about that further with me, look what's coming in. They need something with seamless integration, quick onboarding, data-driven analytics, ROI focus, compliance and security, lead generation and management. This is their primary needs. Somebody tell me what you're looking at right here. AI has gone out and analyzed the customer segments and in turn created the customer in the form of a simulator. And that simulator can be tighter and tighter in its depth and focus because real feedback coming in from your chat or your interactions or your customer service department or your advertising metrics can feed right into here, making her closer and closer. In fact, you can have a Jill for each segment. In fact, let's go back here. You can come up here, watch what I do, and you can say something like this. Control C, I've copied it. Let me see if I'm in the right one. I'm going to leave that up. I'm going to leave that up, and I'm going to leave that up and go here. And I'm going to drive that up to the top while we're working, and I'm going to say this to Jill. Jill, I'm going to paste in a Facebook ad, and I'd like you to read it and tell me if it resonates, period. How could I improve it? What would it take to get you to respond to this ad? I'm turning off my recording. I'm going to hit Control V and paste that. I'm going to hit this little send button. You got to learn to do this. We're going to do work today. We're going to use one of these today. See a little airplane triangle? I'm going to click it. And now, thank you for sharing the ad. Here's my feedback and suggestions for improvements. Resonance. Here's what works. The emphasis on outcomes rather than features aligns with my priorities. I'm interested in how a solution. And she's saying the positive things. Let's go to the negatives. Let's see. Areas for improvement. Data-backed claims. A call to action. Remember somebody talked about the CTA? Well done. But Jill is telling you that too. Specifically, provide more specific examples of how the solution helped other SaaS companies. What would prompt a stronger response? Clear ROI evidence, a free trial or demo, exclusive content. So let's just ask another question. Jill, have you had any problems in the past with vendors like ours who you purchased a solution from? Now, you'll notice, even if there was a typo, I don't go back and get it. Jill will get the gist of what I'm saying. Here's her problems. Past challenges with vendors, hidden cost. How many of you on this call have bought a solution and found out hidden cost and it angered you and troubled you? Just wave. We've all been there, right? Jill sees that and she doesn't want that. Integration difficulties. How many of you have ever tried to lay out a new platform or solution and found the integration was brutal and a lot harder than the salesman promised you? Well, just wave at me. I need to see consensus. Yeah. Let's just pause there. Now, wait. Onboarding and support, the performance and result, the conclusion. Do you realize now I could talk to Jill about a new product I was going to develop and ask her what features would be most important to her? Or I could talk to Jill about my competitors. I could show her their pitch and say, is it better than mine? I could just go to their webpage, copy their offer, paste it to Jill and say, would you buy this? How do you make it better? I could take my value proposition. I could take my competitor's value proposition. I could put both of them in front of Jill and I could say, wow, which one of these is best? And this one's mine. How do I make it better? Somebody else tell me, how could you use a customer simulator to get to a higher conversion rate? Give me an idea. Give me an idea. What would you do? Any ideas coming to you? What else could you put in front of Jill? How about this? I think we were on that page behind us. Remember this page? Let's go here. I don't know what this page is. So let's just do this. Control Alt, Control C. And I'll just go over here and I'll say, I'll click right here on my back to get Jill. I got this selected. My browser is holding it. Hold on. See what's going on? I can't get this is just an Edge issue. I'm just going to reload the page. It'll take a moment and then you're going to see, because it's timed in a delay. There's Jill. Now I'm just going to do this. How would you improve this page? The irony, guys, is I don't know who Keener is and they don't know who I am, probably. We just pulled their page in for the experiment. And I'm going to just put that. I'm not going to capitalize. And I just can Control V, paste the whole mess in there. Improving the Keener Marketing Solutions page. The current page for Keener Marketing provides a broad overview of services and contract. However, there are several areas for improvement. The headline and CTA, the current status, recommendations. It's dead on. I've been doing this 30 years. What does she say? She said, you need to change and emphasize the unique value proposition. She's even suggested a better headline. She suggested what to do to make the service descriptions better, how to improve the visual and structural enhancements. If you're sitting here right now and you're not shaking on the inside, you're not getting what I'm sharing. You are on the edge of experiencing something no human being in the history of planet Earth has ever experienced. There's no hype there. There's no hype there. Now, I'm going to pull from here for a moment. I'm going to go back to my notes. And all we've done is looked at an interesting way to think about AI. But I want to tell you what we're here for today. Here it is. How do we cut through the confusion and drive a spike in conversion results? How many of you would like to see a real, tangible result from an AI-powered approach? Does that resonate? Please give me hands, head shakes, something. And some of you came in late. If you're on video, if you're not on video, and you can, some of you can't, but please go on video because I'll do a better job if I can see and get your feedback like this. It really helps. And look, I'm an old, ugly guy with a tattoo on his head and a beard in a log cabin that doesn't even have real electricity. So if I can do it, you can do it. All right? All right, now let's just keep going because we got a lot of ground to cover. If you're in on that, then I have a contract I want to sign with you right now. Here it is. If you will go all in, if you will invest your whole person in today's class, if you'll give it everything, then my team and I will go all in today and afterwards to help you actually get something real up and above and out of all that hype you're seeing in the media all day long. Would you like to do that together? Will you make that, if you give me that commitment, I will put, by the time we're done, I won't have anything left. But I'll pour my heart into helping you right now get something real. Okay? All right, then. I have a surprise for you. If you'll take chat right now and put in your most important landing page, one of you is going to get a surprise and a half. Just enter the URL in. Just put it into the chat, and it's being reviewed by my team right now. And as you do that, I'm going to start to answer the question that we have raised. How do we cut through the confusion and drive a spike in conversion results? And to do that, you'll notice that we're going to work through 3 thought movements. And the first one is here. We need to understand the power of the AI revolution. Every single person on this call, no matter how hard you are trying to keep up, is behind. Every single person on this call right now, no matter how technical you are, cannot comprehend the transformation society is about to experience. And I want to share with you how we got from here to there and what it means. So I'm going to drop down this, and I want to start with a story. We're going to move through these little 5 points and get right to meat. Now, I just want to warn you, as soon as I get through these 5 points, in this point, we're going to start building AI stuff together. Would you like to do that? We're going to learn and we're going to apply. You need to hear the story first, or I wouldn't do it, because I use all the time. But without this, I'm afraid you won't get the most out of this experience. So I'm going to start with the story. And in it, I say beginnings. There's a real pretty girl. I was married to her 37 years. I lost her to cancer. That's me. That's me with hair, by the way, just to point out, that's me with hair. I'm bringing it up because I have to. Because I don't know how long ago it was. It was 40 some. I mean, it was so far, long time ago. I went for a walk on the beach with that girl in the 90s. We were just married. This was Ponte Vedra Beach. And I said to her, baby, I want to start a lab to study the internet. She said, the inter what? Nobody had heard of the internet. You couldn't go to a party and talk about the internet. There were no web pages. It was in Unix. We were using, it was a DARPA and ARPA. It was a government project. There were BBSs and boards. And she said to me the salient question. I was 20 years old. She said, you have a lot of opportunities. Why this over everything else? I said, sweetheart, if the internet becomes what I think it's going to become, there's going to be actual transactions on it. We're going to sell stuff. There's going to be, by the way, I stopped saying this out loud because I got in trouble. I mean, people just wouldn't trust me. I said, there's going to be banking in this environment. And I said, and media will be transformed. And everybody's going to run out and try to get a piece of that. But here's what I want. I want to watch how they think. I want to track their decision process. Everyone is going to leave a digital footprint. And for the first time, I can use science to solve a philosophy problem. How does free will and choice interact? And how do people make decisions? I am a philosopher by training. I was the director of enterprise research at Cambridge. And I shared this with her. She said, go for it. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Now look, because the next thing is that little conversation led to this little office on the beach, one office and one assistant. And there were, as a bay right on the beach. And I went in to rent the building or to rent one office. And the guy who owned it said, how many bays do you want? I said, just one. I said, how many have open? He said, and he gave me a large number. I said, I'll take them all. I didn't know why. It was intuition. That moment grew to this. This timeline, you don't have to know it, all the way back is the development of MECLabs, Marketing Experiments Journal in the old days, our first patents, the theory that led to transformation across many funnels, the founding of research partnerships, the book that drives all the work into a single cohesive theory, all of that. This was the culmination of all the research up through 2014. And here we are. Now I'm going to just go back because fast forward, even past that. Today, we raised and we made it. We actually made the money in research partnerships by taking a funnel. Here's what I did. I couldn't get any budget. I couldn't get any funding. And I said to the New York Times, I said, this is your path. I'm going to create this path. If my path makes more money, I want you to pay me more money. Guess what? We went from 0 to $500 million in revenue. We ran a series of experiments and drove up conversion by over 1,052% and continues. Today, we have a library of 10,000 experiments. Guys, I'm not selling. Can I just put everybody to rest? I'm not going to ask you to buy anything today. I'm not going to ask you to buy anything tomorrow. If you like some of this stuff, there may be things you want to do. But this, I just want you to know, because do you see that little line? The most important line on this page is 10,000 plus cell path experiments. Do you know why that line is so important? Because that's how we built Jill. And that's how we're going to give you something that nobody else in the world has. GPD doesn't have it. Grok doesn't have it. We were first. We'll share more in just a little bit on that. The only thing I would share with you now is there's another cool slide of all the things. We've interviewed 500,000 executives. Dan has interviewed more CMOs than anybody I know. We've patented these little things with letters or heuristics that drive conversion, and they're built into the platform. And all over the world, we tested it. We built Expedia's testing program in New Zealand and Japan and all over the world. We did the same with Bank of America, Royal Bank of Canada. And these lifts on the side are a selection from 10,000 experiments like it. All of that is going to inform what we do today. And I'll just say this. I think 5 or so years before we ever heard of GPT, we announced at a major university our AI program and our research. 210 days before ChatGPT launched, a group of people, they're still with us. In fact, Leanne is on here. I just saw her earlier. We launched the AI research cohort that began to research all the AI capabilities out there and pre-test and experiment with our methodology that has now been crafted into this platform. Today, I'm almost done. See, you have to know this for where we're going. Today we have this. And this is the most important culmination of this conversation. Imagine the new tech stack. At the bottom is an LLM. Do you all know what an LLM is? That's a large language model like ChatGPT or Grok or Claude. By the way, in the platform I give you today, you can change those out and use any of their APIs. They're just a chip. How many know remember Intel, the chip, the processor inside of your computer? Most people are going to the processor without all the software. That's dumb. What we've done is on top of that little chip, which can be changed. It can be any LLM. It could be our own. We've layered the GFA, the goal-focused algorithm that powers the learning from our 10,000 experiments and its outputs. Before agents were in the media, we built 3 kinds of agents, experts, apps, and libraries, and in powerful ways took our 10,000 experiments so that we could stand up crazy cool things like Jill. We built engineering consoles on top of that so that a person doesn't need to know any code to create their own AI powerhouses. And as a result, I'm not just making this up. This sounds like so much hype. We're just living in the most dramatic time. You really can 10x your output after today. I'm going to show you how. I don't mean just 10 times more. I mean 10 times better, 10 times faster, 10 times more. Now, I'm not saying that because one day that's possible. I have a community, the Guild, the AI Guild, which we launched at the same time we launched all this. and they help develop the product. They're using it. They're doing it. And I see it. And it's mind-bending. So with that in mind, we built something over here that we're not going to look at much today. But with this powerhouse, you can do almost anything you can imagine. I have people, give you an example. I have enterprise partners who are taking 28,000 chat transcripts. On the one side are the ones that led to a sale. On the other side are the ones that didn't. Then they're taking an AI agent from this platform called Conversion Pro, analyzing both conversations and saying, okay, the winning conversations have all these elements in common. Then they're creating in real time, on the fly, a coaching guide for the next person on the call. And even in that coaching guide are the objections and the way they overcame them from the winning calls. I'm not there yet, but next it's going to be listening to your calls and coaching you on how to win. That's one application. I have so many we have travel groups building huge, powerful solutions, hotels who want to drive more margin, all in this little thing here. But I don't want to sell it. I'm going to show you how to get all of that right now and not pay anything, okay? I'm not worried about selling it. That happened all by itself. I'm worried about building a value proposition at the heart of that beast that's so powerful, you don't have to talk people into buying anything. And here's how we did it. I'm going to start right here. So I am on the second point. I have asked a question, and that question is, how do I cut through the confusion and drive a spike in conversion results? Now, we're going to start to answer it today. And to do that, we need a tangible, practical way to seize this opportunity and then position ourselves on the business chessboard to win. And I'll tell you what I'd like to do. I'd like to begin right now by introducing you to a concept. I'm going to type it in my notes because I don't want you to miss it. 10 days, and I'm going to say ways, because you can go faster than that, to drive an AI-powered conversion surge. Now, how many of you guys, most of you are in some form of marketing, right? So you don't want any hype from me, right? You're sick of it. I hope you're sick of it because I'm sick of it. I won't listen to it. Clarity trumps persuasion. When I said surge, I hesitated for that word and I thought, is that right? Is that honest? Yeah, I think it is. I think if you do the right things, I'm going to show you how to use AI right now. 10 ways. Step 1 is next. Point 2.2, building your first MCD. Are you ready? Nod at me if you're ready. Okay, let's attack. First thing you need to do is this. I'm going to go right now where you can see this URL. Every person has to go there or you're not going to get the advantage of what we're doing today. And more than that, you're going to have to take a risk with me. Talk like you've been doing. You've done that well. Speak up. Be loud. Ask questions. Covenant to apply yourself with all your might to what I'm going to share to you next. And with that, I'm dropping into the Zoom chat right here, the link you need. Please go to that link right now and you should see this guy. All right. As you go there, you're going to see it. If you have two screens, split your screens so that on one side you can see what I'm doing. Somebody mute that for us. And on the other side, you can do it yourself because it's going to be that easy. All right. You can watch me, but most people are going to not learn just watching. You got to do it. Watch, you'll get the outputs and the results and the gains. Who is this? You met Jill. This is, it's almost a person. This guy is so brilliant. I could say to him, give me an overview of them. And by the way, look at my little screen. You see that little, there you have this to minimize, this to click, this to go full screen. I'm going full screen. That way you can see. I could say, teach me this or teach me that. And that's my first point. This person knows all of our methodology. In fact, if I said, give me an overview of the MecLabs methodology, that's those 10,000 experiments and all that we learned. And this guy is going to take longer than Jill. Do you know why? Because he's powered by our most robust logic engine. So it takes a few seconds to process everything. Let's just look at what he just did for you. He's providing an overview of the entire methodology, the core principles, the key frameworks within our methodology. This is 30 years of my life. He's laying it all out for you. You could say, I don't understand this. I don't understand that. What about this? Can you give me an example of that? You can say to him what you would say to any professor and get the answer. And now he's talking about how to apply it. And then there's one thing I want you to see that he does sometimes. Does anybody know what this is? He has to, for our program, assess his own answer for clarity, completeness, relevance. And over here, he tells you his score. He tells you how he justified it. And he gives you a total. The 70 out of 70 is not a surprise because that wasn't hard. He was presenting our methodology. When it's harder, it might drop 2 or 3 points. But he's working every day, every interaction to try and get the highest score. That way, you're not just getting, how many of you have had GPT hallucinations and things like that, and you don't know whether to trust the outputs, is it real or is it not? At the end of every response, you can go down to the response quality assessment and get a read on how good this is. Can you see the value of that? Now, folks, I just want to point something out to get ahead of myself. I'm going to give you access to this for the next week, even after I'm done. You don't have to give me a credit card. You don't have to start a free trial. You don't have to activate. Some of you may got an email. Don't worry about it. I'm going to give you direct access right now to all of this. If you learn with me right now, in the next week, who knows what you can pull off? I dare you. I dare you to surprise me, amaze me. But what I'm going to do right now is help you get clear in how to use it so that you can constantly get value. Now, folks, when you are using it, there's some things we're going to learn as we go. Whenever it minimizes, you just click here. And I want you to see there are 2 modes, auto AI mode. See that little switch down there? It says auto AI mode on the bottom right. Look at my screen. My mouse is coming to it right now. Boom. That's auto AI mode. There's a toggle. When I click that, it changes. We're going to talk about what that changes, but not now, when we need to. The thing you need to know now, I'm going to click the auto AI mode button and I'm going to turn it off. Yours will load outside of, it'll load with the button off. Do you see over here where it says AI conversion and libraries? Do you see the little drop down? See my mouse? Do you see the toggle? You have to have that toggled to the left to see AI conversion or libraries. Okay, Gloria, there you go. Show me your screen share. So here comes a screen share. All right. Now, Gloria,
That's what I see.
Do you see that little toggle in the bottom that says auto? Go right. Click that off to the right. There you go. Look over on your left where, nope, click it off again. Boom. Nope. There it is. See that? Drop. Click on that. Everybody see that? Watch me now. Click on that. And go to, it'll either be on experts or apps. On experts, click on AI conversion mentor. Boom. You got him now. Just click out of it now. You're good. You've selected him. Just click anywhere. There you go. Just click. There you go. He's ready to go. You're ready to go. Now, if you are running out of space, try this. Do a control dial and just make it a little smaller. You know, do that, like zoom in a little bit to give yourself room to see everything. But that's about right. And you should be ready to go right now. Let's go back to my notes and away we go. All right, team. The first thing that we needed to get out of the way here so that we could be ready to really learn is to get your page loaded. We are right here. Build your first MCD. An MCD stands for Master Context Document. How many of you have worked with GPT or some other, and you have to tell it about your business and stuff, and they used to do custom instructions, and then it's hard to write it, and you don't know what parts to put in it. Do you know what I mean? And then it's just, well, we're going to give you a simple solution so that after this moment here, this is really kind of important. This smart person over here is going to know. And by the way, keep it out of auto AI mode. Just keep it over here on this mode because we're going to start using these. The auto AI mode is for people who don't know anything to keep it simple for you. But we're going down a level with you today. We have a long time to learn a lot, and we're going to. So I am in auto AI mode, and you see my little button here that has these two pieces? These are libraries. We can load any library in here to power your outputs, and we will later. These are experts in apps, but if you've been watching the news, these are actually two different kinds of agents that we pioneered in our research. An expert is able to work with you to solve a problem, to accomplish a goal. An app doesn't require you to know prompting. An app doesn't become your friend. An app just does the job you tell it to do. It's real fast. You enter a field, it's done. We're about to use the app right now. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to click on MCD Builder, Master Context Document. Would you all click on that? As you do so, I need the visual. Again, that's why video is good. If you can't go on video, use your hand raise thing and tell me I found it. Now, once you click on it, you got to sort of click out of it. And I'm out of it now. What I'm going to do that you don't need to worry about right now is I'm going to use my little menu over here and I'm going to do a new interaction. What does that mean? See, I clicked on those little lines. I'm just starting it fresh so I don't have the other stuff in there. When you don't start fresh, it sends back the old conversation, and we don't want it to do that. It might confuse the genius. So instead, we're going to be looking just like this. How many of you have a screen that looks like this right now? Raise your hand or nod at me. Good.
Got it.
Here's the next thing, everybody. Watch what I do next. In chat, Gloria, do you have a website, Gloria? Gloria Weep, do you have a website? Somebody put a website in chat for me. I need a website in chat, and I'm going to show you something pretty cool, okay? Just drop it in there, and I'm opening make sure I see it. Okay, I got one. I'm going to copy that Excel Force one. I'm trying to get to one. Here's one. Okay, copy link. Watch what I do, folks. If every person doesn't see this, nothing you're going to do next will work. I got to do something. This thing has really powerful internet search capabilities. I don't want to use the plus. That changes the type of web search I want to do. I'm going to click on this little blue globe. There's an advanced feature that will actually scrape websites and do cool things. Don't worry about it now. Just the globe. And then what I'm going to do is put the link in. I click the blue globe. I put the link in. Here's what happens. Now it's going to take a moment because it's got to go to that site. But and I'll go full screen so you can see a little better too. All right. And you do the same. And watch for your outputs, and I'll show you how these outputs will help us for the rest of our day. All right. Well, tell you what I'll do. I'm going to go there. I'm going to come back in just a second because it's building something for us. And I'm going to come over to this next piece, and I'm going to say to you that once you understand how to build the MCD, we're going right here. We're going to learn how to build an ICP. We're going to let AI tell us what our ideal customer is like. And I'm going to show you why that's so important. Your ICP is the bullseye of your value proposition. And while you're thinking about that, let's look at this result. MCD Builder went to the website that we just looked at, Medon Holistic homepage. Look what it's done. It has built a factual document. The brand overview and mission, the introduction, the value proposition and messaging, the audience and user segments, the website structure and navigation, all of this is done. And now I can just copy that. See the little copy down here? And oh my goodness, this will power everything else I want to do. Because what we're doing is giving this giant brain all the context it needs to produce the best output. Do you see that? How many of you are already seeing your MCD come up? Just wave at me if you're getting your MCD. Okay. have different ways we're going to use to help you catch up if you're behind, but it won't be hard. Just keep going, keep trying, and we're standing by. We're going to do something really cool next. So I have this detailed document, and I'm not even I could copy it, right? Actually, I will. And now we come to this part. Remember, I said there were 10 steps to driving a conversion surge. The first one was to build your first MCD. Your second one was to zero in on your customer. Because let's go back to conversion theory, the stuff we've learned from thousands of experiments. The greatest marketers are customer first. The single most difficult problem we face as marketers is our own self-interest. That self-interest creates blind spots, and those blind spots are really hard to overcome. I use this set of lenses over my eyes to illustrate a point. You need to learn to see differently, but not better, with completely new eyes. That happens when you put a lens on, not so much with corrective in it, but color in it that helps you see the way the customer sees. And if you can see your offer through customer eyes, you will see the conversion opportunity that you're missing right now. A lot of us are all about our headline and our call to action, but we don't spend enough time learning our customer. Does that make sense to everybody? Nod at me if you're tracking with me. Is this about the right pace? Are you ready to build an ICP on the fly? Now, I'm going to give you an ICP and you're going to think, oh, so now I know all this, but what do I do with it? That'll come next. Let's go build one. I'm going to go back to my CFD. I have all this critical information in here. I could leave it in there, but because I'm going to call up an app, it may not read that. So I'm going to copy it. Everybody do that. Push the double copy at the bottom of you have to scroll to the bottom. It's not there. You scroll right to the bottom. You click on that. And then you see the switcher down here. We're going to switch it. We're going from MC Builder to ICP Builder. I'm going to leave that up. We were at MC Builder. We're going to ICP Builder. We got that by clicking on the switcher at the bottom with a toggle, and it popped it up. And I'm going to now select ICP Builder. Boom. I'll just click out of here just to make it go away. And it says right here, ICP Builder. That's how I know I'm on the right thing. It says it up here, ICP Builder. How many of you see ICP Builder wave or nod or something? Y'all there? Good. All right. As I see that you're going faster, I'll go faster. Now I'm going to say this. I'll just paste this information in. That's it. You said it. I did Control V. I pasted it in. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to hit the little blue. I'm going to hit the little blue send button. Are you ready? Boom. Now, this could take some time because I'll tell you what it's going to do. It's going to give you the deepest insight you've ever had into your customer segments. And by the way, you could have just entered the URL of your web page here, and without all of this, it would still go to your web page, try to figure out your segments, and come back to you with its best thinking. Just by entering your URL, and you'd have to click, anytime you want to search the internet, you got to click that blue globe. Why do we do that? Because if we don't have that, you might search for something. How many of you asked ChatGPT a question and it answered it out of the training and it was outdated? Have you ever had that where you ask a question and it brings you back an answer from its training and the answer's not right?
Yes.
Well,
sorry, what did you click? Just the blue arrow?
The little blue globe down here. That's what gets you if you type your URL in. Don't worry about that yet. I'll come back to that though. It's a good question, but it's the blue globe. I want you to see the output. Look at what just happened. Whoa. All right. So we took our master context document and we gave it to the ICP Builder. Here's what it's done. In 10,000 experiments, I have found that there are 5 questions we have to answer that will map the decision process. The first one is selection. Who is this person? Look, adults age 35 to 60, primarily residing in and around Lorton, Virginia, are connected to urban areas via online search. You see how direct and specific that is? They are middle-income professionals or parents who have a moderate education background. When you know that, you know how to write to them. You know how to talk to them. This is what built Jill. We took this and we put it in a simulator. Next is direction. What motivates them? What do they move towards? What do they move from? Look at this. They're moving away from ineffective one-size-fits-all diets and quick fixes. Instead, they crave personalized health plans that address early signs of prediabetes, diabetes, hormonal imbalances, etc. Where are they in the customer journey? Typically, they're in the consideration stage. These customers have become aware of their health risk and are actively researching holistic approaches. Do you see how powerful this is? If you're a marketer, you should get a flutter right now, but we're not done. All this detail is what it will need to write the most compelling conversion messages you've ever written. Watch the next thing. Wait, here's Alex. Alex is a 48-year-old professional who has spent years juggling work, family, and personal health. By the way, if you're an agency, what would you charge for this? I asked an agency yesterday. They told me they would charge $12,000 for that right there that you just built with about 5 seconds in a click. Did you hear me? And I understand them. They're right. It's worth that. I'm not saying they weren't being fair. I'm just saying, here's the bio for Alex. And it's really detailed, and it'll help you understand him and empathize with him. I said to you earlier, the marketer's blind spot is their own self-interest. In order to overcome it, we have to empathize with our customer. This gives you deep intelligence that will guide you in appealing to their decision style. Here's what drives a yes or no. Here's how to communicate to them effectively. Here is the biographical story that will help you feel them. Did you hear me? This is to help you know them. This is to help you feel them. How many of you do a better job of writing when you can feel it inside the person you're writing to? Yes. And underneath this, we're going to give you a picture of them. You're going to take your MCD now. Just look at our notes. So we've got our, here's what we did. We built our MCD. That's right here. Boom. That's step one of our 10-day plan. And in my next point, I'm going to break the whole plan out for you, show you what to do after this call and how to get help. What I'm going to do right now, though, is we got the MCD, we got the ICP, and now we're going for something that'll matter because the ICP by itself doesn't drive more revenue. The ICP gives you the missing customer wisdom, a way to feel your customer. Now, what do you do with that? Here's what you go ahead and take your MCD, you go back to your previous MCD builder. There's experts and there's apps, right? We're going to go back to our app. And we're going to go to Value Prop Analyzer. Everybody should see that. Click off. And in the top, it should say Value Prop Analyzer. And if that's right, you just paste your MCD in. While you do that,
your MCD or your ICP?
No, you put in your MCD and it'll figure out everything else. There's another way to do it that I'm going to show you. Put in your MCD right now. And you can always add that. I'll show you how in a moment. But first, I'm going to go back to that chat that we had opened earlier. And I'm going to grab a URL and do it a different way. Some of you don't, you could just take, let's suppose you're an agency and you're demonstrating. I'm looking for a different URL that's more representative. Here's one. All right, I got one. I'm copying it. Watch what I do. I'm going to click on the search piece. By the way, are you seeing my screen? I just want to make sure the share is working. Right?
Yep.
Okay. And now I'm going to drop in the URL. Right? And I'm going to hit go. Now this time, it doesn't have an MCD. And the MCD may give it a better, more powerful output. What is it doing right now, do you think? Somebody tell me what you think we're doing right now with the value proposition analyzer and that URL I just.
Grabbing the web.
Yes,
Your site, the site.
Yes, ma'am. Nick.
So you said to put the MCD in the value prop?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Incredible.
Are you getting are you starting to get the outputs?
Yeah.
I'm glad you are, because I'm still having edge problems. All right. I need Nick. Nick, speak up if you're hearing me. Steve, turn the CDF's lead gen form much higher up. Folks, do you see what just happened here? Do you see my screen? This actually should get you excited. Right? In the interaction, I'm able to generate a lead if I wanted to. I'm able to generate a subscription sale if I wanted to. You're just beginning to see the power of what you've got. What I'm doing is, so you don't hit that screen and get shut down, I'm going into the back end. Steve, confirm with me that you're getting that handled.
Yeah, we're Nick on that.
Okay. So I'll do this while we're waiting. Somebody share with me what you got in your output. Who wants to tell us what you got?
How do I share?
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll enter that URL in and I'll show you mine, but screen share is at the bottom. If you don't know how, it might be better to pick someone that knows that share, but it's in the bottom controls of Zoom. Share.
Okay, I do. Yeah.
Okay, share your screen. Let's look at your output. Now, folks, when you have this output, do you see how we're getting closer to making a financial result? Here's my all of this. Are you ready? I'm not seeing your screen. Hold on a second. Let me share mine since I've got an output in here. All I did, let's go back up to the top, is I put in, that's MCD Builder. All right, are you ready to share your piece? I heard I was talking to somebody. I'm going to go back.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, share your screen. Go right ahead. I'll stop my share and you hit the share button and you're good.
Where is this one?
Yes, sir.
You have it?
Now,
while he's doing that, can you put in MCD content into your value prop analyzer as well as a URL, either or?
I would use the MCD. I think it's better. But I'm imagining that, let's suppose you're an agency and you're sitting in with a client and they have a URL. You haven't built that. You just run their URL in there. Boom. Your
okay.
Run 3 URLs and get your competitor's value prop analyzed. Some of you right now should be taking. Let's look at this output. Can you scroll to the top? So all the way to the top. Yes, it's quite a bit here. So he put a URL in. Scroll down a little bit more. There is an overview. That's your MCD. Keep going. That's the first part. Yes, keep going. Now, this is the part. No, that's MCD. You're still in your MCD. You gotta go to your value prop analyzer. Get down below there. No, that's MCD. Keep going down. All right.
Well, I'm now at the bottom.
There it is.
There it is.
All right. So keep going. There it is.
Right there.
See value prop analyzer. All right. Scroll down so we can all. There we go. There's.
Okay.
It went to your webpage. This is started this a step at a time. This is really important. There's nothing I've said more important than what I'm going to say right now. It has gone to your webpage, and it has extracted what it thinks is the value prop. That's very important because often I will say, what is your value prop to someone? And then I send this to their page and it doesn't read the same value prop from it as they think it says. And when you have a disconnect between what you think you're saying and what someone else is hearing, you got a problem. So it's went to the page, pulled its own value prop off. And then of all those years, I've written a book on it. It's right here. It's just because I'm using it for a pad. But this book is about those elements. Drop down a little bit lower. All value props are powered and you can measure their force and improve them if you understand that they should drive 4 conclusions. Here they are. I want this now. I can't get this anywhere else. I understand this. I believe this. When you get those 4 right, you get a win. That may sound simple. That took me 10 years to figure out.
Jesus.
So what's going on now is it is analyzing your value prop to tell you what you might want to do to improve it. It'll even score it for you.
Right, okay.
All right. So let's just think about that for a moment before we go any further. Somebody tell me with this kind of an output, let's say right now, you have an MCD, you've now started to figure out your ICP, and you now have an analysis of your value prop. Somebody tell me what you can do with that to improve your outputs. How can you leverage this today to get more value?
Duplication.
Okay, explain. I don't know what you mean.
Like using this to know like what you can improve on and do it over and over again until you make as much profit as you're looking to.
Okay, all right, there's an idea. Somebody else, how can you leverage this information? That's what you should do. That will help. That's a very good answer. Somebody else.
I would A/B test. So whatever is under 8 or 7, I would start checking what needs to be adjusted, and I would have a version versus a variant, and I will start checking what converts better.
Very good. That's an excellent answer. And is that I see a hand up. Is that your hand up on purpose?
Yes, that's me.
Okay. Oh, that was you. All right. Now I'm going to stop the share and bring it to mine so I can help you get the rest of what we need today to be right on top. Thank you for sharing. You did a great job. You nailed it. All right. So I will share that screen and you should see my value prop output is the same. I've evaluated across these things are a force. If you were to spend time with me, I could show you experiment after experiment where we applied this and we changed this and we saw 200% improvement, 16% improvement, 400%. I can list them. We could spend the rest of our time and I just go before, after. And all you do is see the original version, the other version, and the difference. Because I haven't seen this work 10 times or 20 times or 100 times. I've seen it work hundreds upon hundreds of times. Now, we're not done. We have just got our MCD, our ICP, and we've got our value prop. Now, since we have that, I am going to answer the question that we've been talking about. What do we do now? You need to see how just 1 week from now, your business could be in transformation. I wondered if this vertical I'm focused on today should have been for a certain size business. The answer is no. I don't care if you're an enterprise. I've got enterprise partners that are global companies and little entrepreneurs. I believe one person in this tool is going to generate $100 million. Maybe they need an assistant because we can do more than what I'm showing you today. It'll go out in the world and shock you. But now I'm going to show you this. So here was how we end this. It is 12:25. Would you like a 5-minute bio break? All right. First, you need to set aside 30 minutes a day for 5 days, 5 business days. You have a week. And those 30 minutes are where you're going to do the types of things we're doing right now. They're actually really kind of fun. And then you need to have completed these 3, which we've just done. And if you haven't, and you're on this call and you got stuck, not only can you reach out to Steve that way, but as I speak, would someone, Dan, would you put support's number in again right now in the chat? You can click on that and a human being, not AI, will answer and help you. I want you to have all 3. So tomorrow you're ready. Because
what does OVP stand for?
Offer value prop. That's
Got
what you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, that's the first 3 items. And here comes the next ones. And I think if I do this, it'll look better. We're going to learn tomorrow to spread the news of your new improved value prop by creating a powerful social media strategy. Steve, reach out to Nick for me, please. And make sure that he drops in to the, let's drop into the experts, our social media experts. Just drop them in here for now into the CFD by going into the resource switcher. And then we're going to field test your best offer. We're going to study your competitors. We're going to send something out to put all the information. You need to look at your information next to their information to get a strong feel.
Holy.
And then This is the most exciting thing. And Steve, I need Nick right now because he built something for me. Get him to speak up.
Yeah, he's on the call right now.
Nick,
Nick, can you unmute yourself? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh my folks, don't miss what I'm going to show you next. See step 8? Get your first, read it. It's really important. AI agent for lead gen. I can't even begin to tell you what this is. This is not some chat bot. It's not a form. It's the most amazing thing you've ever seen for lead gen. Nothing's like it. We're going to drop one right in front of your website. I'll show you one. Nick, over to you. Are you ready, buddy? Nick, if you're speaking, yes, go ahead. Are you ready? Go ahead.
What do we need to do?
We're going to look at that example you created in the sandbox.
Oh, yep. Let me post it in the chat here for you.
All right. Now, while you were on the call with me in the last few minutes, guess what's happened? We sent remember I asked you to submit your URLs? Well, we took one of your URLs and we went to the larger part of our platform and it did something kind of cool. Nick, I don't see it still. Did you put it in chat?
Yeah, it's in your direct message.
All right. I don't have it. Oh, wait. I see it now. I see what's going on. All right. Zoom's malfunctioning, but I got it. All right, folks. There it is. Boom. So stop right there. Whose business is this? Somebody on this call, this is your business. You submitted it. Wave at us. Who is Pivot Pro Solutions? While you're watching, something is about to happen at Pivot Pro Solutions. What do you think it is? You might be going through the site. You might be reading the critical pieces. And all of a sudden, you're going to encounter something you might never have seen before. Nick, you screen share and show it. Can you hear me, Nick? Because of my browser issues.
Yeah,
okay?
I can hear you. Let me show you guys.
Nick, I got it here. I'll just show them. Wait, do you see these questions down here?
Yeah.
That could be 100 different things. It doesn't have to be these questions. This is built from your business. No human being did this. AI went to this business that's on the call. Look at the URL up top. Is that the business's URL? It's not, is it? It's shares.meclabs. While we were on the call, MeclabsAI went to this business. It took the whole website or the whole web page, brought it into our platform. It studied it. It created an AI lead generation agent. And now watch, when I click here, there is, what does Pivot Pro Solutions do and how can they help me? Boom. And I can start to have a conversation here. Not only can I have a conversation, I can call them right now. I can program this with URLs, with WhatsApps. It can start to help me. If I don't want to do it this way, I can hit a little microphone and it'll talk to me right here. If I want to interact, I can click here and just start talking. If I want to send a message, I can click here and boom, I'm in business. If I want a lead gen form to come up and block them, it can. If I want it just to come up and be optional, it can. If I want to put this same device on your website to sell subscriptions to something you want to offer, it can. And what's most important is we built this while you were on the call. We literally built an agent. We put it into a specialized device. We put it in front of the website. And all you'd have to do now is take one line of code, paste this on your website, and you'd have the most compelling, powerful lead generation device I have seen in 30 years.
That's impressive.
Well, I'm excited. You could probably tell. I've never seen anything. I've never seen a time like this in the world. So going back to our notes, on day 8, we want you to start building your first agent for lead gen so we can get it in front of your website. On day 9, we're going to do something else. We're going to nail your follow-up. What does that mean? Well, when a good lead comes into this device, what are you going to do with that lead? You need a multi-touch lead generation strategy with all the best messaging written automatically for you. How many of you would like to have that? So you load up your CRM or do it manually, but a lead comes in and they get the first touch and the second touch and the third touch. And remember, it's all been informed by your MCD, by your improved value proposition. This is how that value proposition suddenly translates into opportunities and dollars. We make a powerful lead gen device. We get it on your website. We get leads to start coming in. And then you send out a genius follow-up, the kind of follow-up that you would have had to pay our organization when we were working with the Times and these Verizon paid us $1 million a month. And we blew, we didn't have AI. We did this with our testing program. They were a partner in our research, and we did many experiments, and we tracked over $2 billion in test revenue growth. You are going to get that same level of expertise writing your follow-up. And then a content strategy. Now, I can tell you after that or during that, if you wanted to, let's go back to the homepage. There's a way to get access to, I'm going to switch. Well, no, I'll go back to the same thing you're saying. This is the new interface, and it's being released right now. There's an entire SWAT team of specialists, marketing experts, rich, capable data scientists, pricing strategists, and others who you could access right here. Boom. Yourself, not just in this one that we saw, but in the one that we were standing up a moment ago. And you can see it. So I will come here, back to my notes, and say after that, you might want to use one of those experts to optimize your entire web page. You can run this through every successful web page rotates around 8 powerful micro yeses. If you get the 8, you're way more likely to get the conversion. This methodology was developed in our research. You can go to one of these experts and you can, let's just look. You're seeing MCD Builder, but look at all these other experts. Marketing Genius, Conversion Pro, Marketing Professor, App Maker, Library Maker, Data Scientist, Event Strategist, Price Strategist. All of these are standing by to help you. And all of these apps, they'll build your FAQs for you on the fly. They'll analyze your competitors. They'll help you improve your CTA. They'll take every aspect of your web page and all the 8 micro yeses. They'll analyze them. It's a powerhouse. It's a team that helps you do more, better, and faster. And it's all right here. What I'm going to be doing tomorrow is I'm going to be taking different ones from this specialized group, and I'm going to bring them over to your solution right here. And you'll be able to go in and access them right here and do the work that we have here. Around here, you got to make a decision. You can take all this, use it, and I hope we've done a good job for you. Or you can get the platform and get all those experts released into your CFD and do things like you've never seen before. And I'll tell you right now, there's a pricing. I won't go with that. I don't even want to show. It's $100 a month for the whole thing, and you can put 3 members of your team in it with you. So about $30 a piece, and you got all this working for you. It's crazy. Now, that's all I want to say about that, because I'm not turning this into a sales call. I want you to start to learn some more now, and we're going to take our last few minutes, and we're going to really drill this. So this is day 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll tell you what I do on day 11. I'd start thinking about my website's messaging. I would nail the whole thing. And then it's unlimited, the things you can do. You can design a test in here. You can do many things. What I'll do now is ask you a question. Let's suppose tomorrow you're doing this, and let's look at what we have. It says, well, let's take value prop. We just talked about value prop. Let's suppose there's a concept in here that you want to go deeper in, or you don't fully understand it. Robert, what would you do?
Type in the question.
Yeah. Well, here's what you can do to give you a sense of ideas. Watch me. I'm going to go from value prop. Remember,
Okay.
I'm not going to have the apps. I'm going to go to my expert. I'm going to go to AI conversion mentor. This is your friend. This is different than the apps. The apps just do a job for you. This guy will help you solve all kinds of things. Watch me. I want to understand the MECLabs value proposition methodology, period. Please design a 7-day course, period. I'm going to use this in lunch and learns with my team, period. I need you to write the course following the pedagogy, and once I approve it, you can write the lessons. Stop. Hit the send button. It's going to, remember, this is our most advanced logic engine, so it's going to take a moment. It's going to go in. And it's going to start building a 7-day course for me. If I say I have 30 minutes a day, it'll then redo the course. Well, here it is. So let's just go up to the top. That, you don't go to the top. You go up to the top of that thing. All right, here we go. Here's the course. There's all your days. Let's go all the way up the top. 7-day course. Mastering the MECLabs value proposition methodology. Day 1, introduction to value prop MECLabs methodology. Define the concept, introduce the table. Day 3, understanding and achieving clarity. These are the 4 conclusions. Credibility, appeal. This is just an overview. Materials, integration, and application of it all, presentation, review, and next steps. It's all done. So I'm going to test it. That's just a quality assessment of that answer. I'm going to come up here and say this. Write day 5. And I'm going to send that. And while it's writing day 5, I'm going to say this. I also need to get this into some sort of project format where I can manage it well, period. Put a project management plan in for executing this course within my team as a 30-minute lunch and learn, period. Put the outputs in a table, number the subtask, and get it ready to give to my team. And I'll just hit that button. We'll come back and look in a minute at what's going on. I'm going to delete that last stuff I just said. All right. And now watch next. Watch this next problem. Who has a problem you're facing right now in your business that you maybe in the last week you've had a conversation with your team about trying to figure out how to solve it? Anybody want to hazard a problem right now? If not, I'm going to give you one. All right. Let's make one right now. We can't seem to break through in our funnel, period. We've offered a free trial, period, but it seems tired, period. What can we do that's innovative, period? Give me 10 new ideas for improving our approach to a funnel, period. My business is a SaaS marketing platform. I said that because it doesn't have the MCD. Normally, I'd have given it the MCD. I hit go. Now, I'm going to let it work on that problem. Meanwhile, it's spooling up all the other things. Here's the day. Remember the course that we just said, write the day? Day 5. There's your objectives. There's your lesson content. There's your definition. There's your key principles. There's why it matters, and on the list goes. It's all written. In fact, I could just do this and let it start talking to me about this course. Or I could say, I don't want to read it in bullets. Write it all out for me so I can just read the whole day. Or you could say, help me learn a concept, create a quiz and test my knowledge. Or you could say, create a glossary for me. Anything you need, it can do. Let's go a little bit further. I'm going to come right down here, see what just happened. Look at this. 10 innovative funnel strategies for your SaaS marketing platform. Sound familiar? Micro trials instead of a free trial. Guided live webinars with interactive Q&A. Freemium model with premium upsell, and on the list goes. This guy's a genius. He's been trained in all of our methodology. We took all of the best pedagogy, that's how you teach, from around the world, the entire research corpus. And we pulled the research corpus in, fed it to AI, and we trained this professor so he is one of the best teachers in the world. We trained him in all the methodology. Then we dropped in an integrated thinking program so he can outthink the average LLM, improving. How many of you heard something like chain of thought reasoning? If you listen to the LLMs, they talk about these fancy words that make them think better. We're sort of ahead of that. All that's integrated and built into this genius so he can help you solve your marketing problems. You could sit down here and say to him, my partner and I are fighting over X. Here's what he says. Here's what I say. How do we resolve this? You could put here and say, I need to hire somebody, but I don't know if I should hire a contractor or I should hire a full-time employee. Here are the details. What do you recommend? Now, let me tell you what it's not going to do. It's not going to give you the answer. It's going to give you a good answer. It's up to you to decide on the answer. But oh my goodness, how many of you would like a friend that has read everything in the world and has an IQ of 200? That you could go to, and you could ask them questions. That's what you got here. Some of you might think, I love all that I do, but I wish I just had more horsepower right here. That's not a problem anymore. That horsepower is here. Be creative. Get this IQ working for you. But understand something. Intelligence without the data is not enough. And all this is powered by two things, the research library and the stream of data that keeps making it smarter and smarter and smarter. If you want to get the platform in your business working for you, you can get all these experts, and then you can link it to your data so it gets smarter. Like, for instance, your Google AdWords, you can feed those to our data scientists, and it'll analyze your campaign. It'll tell you where it sees anomalies and what to pay attention to. It's not an expert. The data scientist is not an expert on Google, but he's a genius who can read your spreadsheet, rip it to shreds, and tell you. I use data scientists to analyze financials when I'm doing mergers and acquisitions. Full stop. 12:46, 14 minutes left. We're going to make it valuable, but I'm going to give Daniel Burstein space to fix me, correct me, or bring an insight in. He's my friend, and he's good. Dan, what do you think?
All right, let's roll it back to the beginning and redo the whole thing. No, there's been a lot of great chats, Flint. People have said such wonderful things about you. I'm not going to tell you any of that, but I'd like I love to see some of the skeptical people, right? So let's get into that. You really only just touched on what's under the hood, but some people are asking how MeclabsAI is different than ChatGPT. And so maybe if you can get into a little bit about the patent and methodology, the heuristics, I'll just read a few questions real quick and then I'll let you answer. I'm just not getting how this is different than using ChatGPT. All those suggestions, both GPT can analyze your customer information. What's the USP, please? You need the right prompts in order to get the right results, what to say, what to ask, how to ask for it. How's that different from ChatGPT? So I think people are seeing an output, and this is really helpful. And this is where we get into value perception, something we teach deeply. I don't know if you can give a few minutes to kind of explain how it's all built. Obviously not giving away anything private you don't want to give away.
I can do it in a sentence with one picture. That bottom piece, that's ChatGPT. That's what you get. That's Grok or Claude or any other LLM you want to plug in there. We can do that. You can change it yourself. If you have the advanced version of this product, you can change out the chip. What GPT doesn't have is this. If you don't put GPT against 10,000 experiments where it can learn from the patterns and apply them, you know what you're going to get from GPT? Homogenized drivel. What everybody else gets. See, GPT learned from reading everything on the internet. So what are you going to get? Everything on the internet. Guess what? You're not going to win that way. You're going to win because you're doing something new and different. That's what powers your value prop. You got to find exclusivity somewhere. You need to think differently. So it's right there. But I say that because I can see it. You can see it by playing this next week and you figure it out on your own. GPT doesn't have any of this. By the way, it wasn't designed for this. We're not competing with them. They built GPT to be something like this bottom layer. We're just way ahead of everybody else in building all these stacks on top. And we have something nobody else has. Maybe the largest library of experiments in the world on conversion. If you want GPT to help you make a grocery list, go for it. But if you want marketing and entrepreneurship that will drive the growth of your business, you're going to need a hell of a lot more than GPT to pull that off. Took me 30 years to get ready. That's the difference. It's a good question. All right, I'm going to pause right here. VJ, I can feel you tracking. I'm going to ask you a question. If you were me, and we have 10 minutes left, and you wanted to say to this group of people what you think is the most important thing we should think about when we walk away, I'm not looking for a perfect answer. Just give me your best initial thought on that. Take off mute.
Sorry, Flynn. Can you repeat the question? Sorry, I was into some other thing. Yeah. Sorry.
What do you think is the most important thing we've covered today to you?
So today I've learned so this is something amazing tool, first of all. And I never saw it before. This is something amazing.
Yes, sir.
So because we were I'm a part of a company called AI. So where we are lagging with ICP. So ICP is a very big part, like we can't get the right customers thing. So I think this tool will be amazing for my company as well. So this is the best part I learned so far now. Yeah.
Good. Vijay, I would recommend that you do that for every segment. I would build my segments, and then you can build custom messaging to every segment. By the way, folks, I didn't show you this. I just touched it a minute ago, but you can come right over here and take the same interaction, and you can come over here, and it's going to rebuild your web page for you on a blueprint that we designed from our experiments that we know converts. See all the blueprints? These are not templates. These are tested blueprints that have our 8 micro yeses engineered into them, and they're completely customizable inside of, if I pick one, this whole thing starts to power up. It even shows me why it's there, how it works, and all the detail. I won't do that now, but once you get past these days, you may want to use this to improve your whole site. Now I'm going to ask, and I never did figure out how to say your name. I see it's Chidabem. You said, and I hate not calling you, Sarona is good enough. Is that what you said earlier? Sarona, tell me what you think the group should walk away with from what we've done so far today.
For me, from the start, you said it's not about AI, it's about you. So how can you use AI to be a better version of you? So what I'll say to work away with is that AI is not just it's not a replacement, but it is a tool to the best, or it is a tool to enhance your to enhance yourself.
You may be quiet and said that gently and said it quietly, but if I could have written you a letter before tonight and said, tell me something when I call on you, which I haven't done with anybody, that's what I'd have told you to say. The worst part about it is that it made Dan feel better because he's opened up by saying, this is not about AI, it's about you.
That's my favorite part. I had 1 minute. Flynn had the other 2 hours, and she remembered that. Thank you very much. You made my day.
Yeah, now I got to deal with that all day long. But let me just point something out. If you don't walk away with this, you're going to miss the point. You know that stack? Look at my screen. Do you see the brain on top? That's you. You don't have to worry about AI replacing you if you get a hold of what we're talking about, because you're going to have superpowers. And if you think I'm exaggerating, didn't you just see those? Didn't that feel a little bit like a superpower? I haven't shown you, ask anybody in the guild, you've seen a fraction of the power. That power, how many of you heard of Neuralink with Elon Musk? Oh, and Farina, if your hands, I don't know if your hands are up. If they're up, I'll call on you here in a minute. All right. So good. I didn't know for sure if that was from earlier, but this is like having Neuralink plugged into your brain so that you can way increase your capability set. Having said that, I'm going to call on the name because I don't want to run out of time. Farine, what is it you wanted to say?
Well, I think I want to start by asking that the whole thing that we experienced today was starting with the website. But
Yes,
say I'm not starting with the website. I don't have a website.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that doable also?
Well, when I had a question like that, if it came up and I'm not on the call, Farine, I would do like this. I want to build a new business, and it's focused on helping people solve HR challenges in businesses of 1 million or less, period. We don't have a website yet, period. How do we leverage you, and what do we do to get what we need to make this convert well? Stop. Go. All right. Now, I'm letting that feed up, and I'm going to answer your question, Farine. First thing I do is I'd start with the competitive review. I'd look for my competitors, and I'd run this against 3 of them, because the website's the last thing you need, literally. The first thing you need is the right offer, the right message, and you won't get that by building a website. That's what people think, and that's why their websites aren't converting. If you were to join the guild, there's a course called MEC050, which is just started, and we help you build your value prop, your hypothesis, and all the deep thinking, the philosophy that should drive your page. We do that there, and we do it with an AI tutor, and when I'm done, the tutor tutors you in the class. It's ridiculous. So you might want to get in that, Farine. But
awesome.
I see.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to call on Theodora and then Jamera. Go ahead, Theodora.
Hi, first of all, thank you so much for everything. I'm at the beginning of my marketing career and I find this very exciting. I have 2 questions. One is related to data privacy, just because I do believe in some of the countries, this is very important for the clients to know that we are working with tools that are not using further their data. And second of all, second question would be, I'm from Romania.
Yes, ma'am.
And there is not a ton of studies about Romania or in general Balkanic countries. And I was wondering do you believe this tool will work just as good if, for example, I would be to give it Romanian examples or even using our language, not using English? What do you think about this?
I find it's working in so many languages I can't keep up. And sometimes I wake up the next day and it's got another language. It learned overnight, and we don't even know how it learned it. That's the truth. It learned Persian overnight. Now, so languages right now, I'm working with enterprise partners in many languages. We're getting ready to roll out in different countries, and we're using this as the translator. In addition to that, to answer your first question, we have already right now on our landing page builder, we have 1.8 million pages live today. It's GDP compliant. It's in the back end of big enterprises. Your data is safe and secure. And we have if you get more interested, we'll send you a diagram and talk about that. And if you're on here and you're an enterprise, or maybe you're a company of 5 million or more, and you're thinking, I'd like to see how I could bring the full power of this in my business, just reach out to Dan and chat and tell him, and I'll get something to you, because there is an opportunity right now. If you're running a business of like under 5, this is your chance to have the same quality as the 100 million, better quality and faster than a $100 million business could a year ago. No joke. The real team. I mean, you got price strategists, data scientists, you got PhD level experts ready to work with you. And if you're a 5 million or more business, we have a whole team that'll roll in and permit. I mean, they don't replace your tech stack. It just makes everything better. And it gives you huge competitive advantage. Let's look one more thing. Remember I had a question a minute ago, and I asked MeclabsAI Conversion Mentor. See, I want to build a new business that's focused on helping people solve this is what do I do if I don't have a website? Look at how it answered. Define your target audience and problem. Develop a clear value proposition. Map out your funnel. Did you remember me saying this? Didn't I say get the offer built before you even build your website?
Yeah.
It's giving you the same counsel, and it's really good. It's even telling you which experts can help you and laying out your plan. I'm just sharing that so that if you tomorrow when you got a question, ask it. That's the point. I want you to see that you don't have to have me now. My brain is in there. Keep going. I had a question from Jamera, and then we're almost done. Go ahead, Jamera. 5, 4. Go ahead.
Hi.
Yes.
So with the AI, is there like we have to go through the MCD first, or would you say like we could put our website straight into the value prompt to see like exactly like what's wrong with it basically?
And you could ask that question here. I'm telling just so you know when I'm gone, But the answer is you can do it either way. The MCD might give you a tighter answer because it has a lot of value, but honestly, it does really good with just a URL too.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll put in 3 URLs and I'll tell it, put them all in a table side by side. I'll put in mine, I'll put in a competitor A and competitor B, and I'll have it analyze all 3 together. It's really interesting. All right, I am out of time. It is 1 p.m. Team, you put up with me today. I'm a weird guy. Thank you for putting up with me. And I'm grateful for the time you've invested, 2 hours of your life. And I'm not going to end with Dan because he's already bragging about his opening. He might have something he wants to say, but before he does, I'm going to call on Leanne. Leanne, wave it, folks, would you? Leanne, you've been here since the first day when we had the research cohorts. She runs a physical therapy, rehab business. I may have not said it right, Leanne, but you're in the UK still, right? Australia, yes. Just tell us, I'll let you close it. She's been on the whole journey. I don't even know why she's here today. I can't get rid of her. Leanne, what would you advise folks having seen all this unfold and lived it? How perfect is that? Over to you, Dan, and we're done.
So everyone, don't go anywhere yet. We're going to have a survey pop up now. Remember, you can fill out that survey. That's your chance to get your certification badge sent to you. That's also a chance we're going to pick 10 people to get that Headshot Pro. So Steve, if you could pop up the survey right now, that would be the perfect time to do it so everyone can fill it out. Thank you. It's right there. So remember, this is your chance to get your certification badge that you attended today. This is your chance. We're going to pick 10 people to get a Headshot Pro headshot package. You could use that to build your own customer-facing device. I also want to mention, I know people were asking lots of questions in chat. We are going to send up a follow-up email. There will be a follow-up email that will have the recording. It will have the ability that you could see the AI Guild. Flint will be doing a main session in the AI Guild on Tuesday, March 4th at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So if for some reason you're not sick of him after today, you can join the AI Guild and using that link, join us on Tuesday, March 4th at 2 p.m. Eastern time.
By the way, we'll give you a 3-month scholarship in the Guild free. Okay? So you don't have to, every single person on here ought to join the Guild. That's just straight up. If you want to get ahead in the AI revolution, get in the community of people that are pioneering this stuff. That's where Leanne comes from. Join us. But you don't have to pay. Just get in there. Okay? And sorry, Dan, I probably jumped in on you.
He spoke for 2 hours. Isn't that enough? I don't know.
I swear, yeah.
No, and also, but a great thing in the Guild, something I've seen in the chat is just beautiful. The chat was on fire today. Obviously, people were asking questions. Flint was helping people, but I saw more, you guys were helping each other, and that was fantastic. And that's something that we see go on in the Guild a lot. So if you join the Guild, as Flint mentioned, the first 3 months are free. Yes, there will be sessions. Yes, Flint will be teaching you that. Yes, that will be helpful to be other people teaching you. But we have a robust circle community in there where you can help each other, where you can team up, where you can collaborate, where you can come up with ideas. So I really encourage that. Again, we're always here to help. There's that little button at the bottom of MeclabsAI. You can also always email customerfirst@meclabsai.com. And I just want to end it. I want to give the final word here to someone named Hello. I don't know what your real name is. This was my favorite chat of the entire piece. He said, "My question is, will I have enough product to fill the new demand?" So that is a beautiful challenge I hope you all face. That's fantastic. Thank you. Oh, there she is. I love it. Well, I have enough product to meet all demands. So hopefully, Flint, open your minds up today. As that beautiful woman said before, that whatever comment that was of, remember, this is about you. There's some great technology here. It does some great things. If you ever seen the journey, it took Flint since the 90s and all the 10,000 experiments and research to build this. But that's just technology. It's all really about you. And I hope what you leave today thinking is not that this technology can do some great stuff or that, wow, Flint's the brilliant guy. No, I hope you are jazzed up and walk away thinking the same thing Hello thought. Wow, What can I do now, today, before the end of the day, before the end of the week, before the end of the month, now that I've got this new tool? So we'll leave the survey up for a little while more. Feel free to ask more questions in the chat. And thank you everybody for attending.
Thank you all. You take care.